Hi everyone, it's Lori from Crystal Earth Magic with your crystal wisdom of the day. Today we're going to complete our series of elements and talking about how the elements work with the crystals and stones and how their energy is within crystals and stones. So today we're going to talk about the element of storm. Storm is not actually an element in and of itself. That would be spirit. From spirit derives all the other elements: earth, air, fire, water. Storm is the event that takes place on the earth where all the elements come together at the height of their power to shift something that's in stagnation or stalemate. So it's very transformational energy. If you think about how storms in nature move energy and shift things that are in stagnation, whether they be blizzards or thunderstorms or hurricanes, they're moving energy that needs to move. It can be a tornado. You can even look to storms such as earthquakes or volcanoes. Those are in themselves sort of storms. They're energetic storms. All of these things move and shift energy where there is stagnation, stalemate, or something that needs to move. Transformation. Very important, but often very scary to humans. Most humans resist change and don't like change. And when change comes knocking at our door, we usually run away. But the truth is, if we face this storm, because on some level we called it into being, if we face the storm abates and it becomes much easier. It doesn't make it completely easy, but usually once you're through this transformation, this storm, you realize how important it is. You realize that the greatest growth lies beyond that. And so storm is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. And wouldn't it be great to do it consciously instead of unconsciously, creating by default? It seems so much better to create consciously and with purpose, than to just run away from it, and it's going to catch you anyway. So stones that bear storm transformational energy are many, and you can use these storms to get going whenever you feel stuck, whenever you feel stagnated, whenever you want to move on to a new whatever relationship, job, whatever. If you want to kick a habit, if you want to heal from an illness, whatever it is you want to do, whatever feels stagnated, you can use these storms to get you going. This is not an energy that you want to be in all the time, because it's very, very transformational, very exciting, a lot of movement, but it gets you going when you need to. So we'll talk about a few examples. In nature, like I said, we have all these storms that happen, and while they happen, they may feel disorienting because, okay, say you've got a crazy blizzard raging and the power goes out, and there are trees that are down, and there are power lines down, and afterward you may have flooding or whatever. It can be disorienting and scary. You may be trapped in your home, whatever. But afterward, think of the sun coming out and shining on the blanket of beautiful white snow. And that's the energy of after the storm. During the storm, it may be scary and disorienting, but know that there's always an afterward, where you'll be exactly where you're meant to be. In the human body, storm can be evidenced by perfect health, dynamic health, everything changing and shifting and adapting as it needs to keep you in dynamic health. It can also be perceived as a major illness, a major accident, a major life change, like the loss of a spouse, the loss of a job. Those kinds of things are storm experiences. The truth of the matter is, we all know somebody who's gotten to the other side of something like that and said it was the biggest blessing in their life. So these things are here to help shift us when we need some help. So let's look at some of the stones that bear storm energy that we can use in order to get going and get some of this transformational energy into our life. The first and foremost is clear quartz in whatever form. It can be any form. It can be tumbled. It can be in these beautiful standing points. It can be in anything. Clear quartz is transformational. It is the most prevalent mineral on and in the earth. It's one of the most prevalent minerals on and in our body. As we transition to silicone beings as opposed to carbon-based life forms, which will be happening as we evolve, we will resonate even more with this particular crystal, clear quartz. It's highly programmable. It has brought about the computer age, all computer chips, transducers, you name it, all capacitors. All of these things have computer chips, have crystal technology in them, ultrasound crystals in the tips of ultrasound probes. All of these things can be easily programmed, just like clear quartz can. So this is a very amazing stone. If you could have one stone on a desert island, this would be it. It can vibrate with all frequencies, all the way from earth, all the way up to air and beyond. That makes it a storm stone. The whole electromagnetic frequency available to earth, clear quartz can vibrate with that, and that's why it's the best to hold on to anything you want to store in it. It's a holographic storage medium, so anything you want to program into it, it will broadcast then. And that is why it's been used in computer technology. It holds a program for a really, really, really long time, unlimited time. So anyway, this is just a little bit about clear quartz. Amplifies any energy, highly programmable. We'll move on to a spirit quartz. Spirit quartz is a cluster around every little crystal on there is around a main crystal and maybe sometimes a secondary crystal. These are quartz. They can be clear, amethyst, citrine, maybe some rose in there, a combination. But what they teach us most is about living in harmony with a common base. Something humanity could probably take a great lesson from. That's the energy of spirit quartz in a nutshell. Beautiful stone to have around in any healing room, or whenever you need people to come together with that common base. Maybe they have different perspectives, different ideas, but they have a common base, and so they can harmonize even if they are singing different notes. Another stone bearing storm energy is Falgarite. If you look at this, it's a tube. So what Falgarite is when lightning hits sand in a certain way, it's hotter than the surface of the sun for a nanosecond, and it forms these glassy tubes. So the quartz, that is the pulverized sand, the pulverized quartz is sand, forms these prayer tubes. And they no longer have a crystalline form because they cooled too quickly. They become amorphous. But the event of lightning is trapped in this stone, and so you can use this for transformation in a big, big way. So think of lightning striking something. It's like, well, here's the event in this. So if you want to move some energy, this is the way to do it. Not gentle by any means. So, and let's speak of not gentle by any means. That would be Moldavite. Moldavite is the result of a meteor collision many millions of years ago in the Czech Republic. It comes out with this green glassy stone. They have very interesting patterns, a lot of them. This one I thought looked like angel wings in particular. This is probably one of the highest frequency stones I've ever worked with. It massively clears and purges all of your chakras, whether you're ready for it or not. It is not an energy that I would live in all the time. I see people wearing necklaces and earrings and all sorts of things made out of Moldavite, and then they wonder why they're having heart palpitations or all sorts of headaches and issues. I think it's something that you bring into your field when you're ready to purge, when you're ready to change in a big, big way. Wearing them all the time, that's up to you. But me personally, I think it's a little bit too high of an energy for most people because it's chaotic. This can easily connect you to the starseed families of light, extraterrestrials, ancient civilizations, all of those beings that are helping us from other realms that have been through what Earth's going through now. Moldavite is your friend if you want to connect to the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirian Orion group, the Andromedans, etc., etc. This helps you get on that frequency. It helps you definitely to connect in a deep way with them. So, Moldavite, massive change. You want storm in your life? You want transformation? Here you go. Falgarite, Moldavite, probably the two highest frequency stones, most transformational stones I've ever worked with, and they're very readily available. So that's enough about that, but just so you know, there it is. Another very transformational stone is candle quartz, or Madagascar quartz, sometimes called celestial quartz. Okay, it can come in a reddish form or a whitish, creamish form. Again, there are just kind of like that spirit quartz I showed you, there are little crystals all around the main base, and it shows the wrapping and the spiraling motion. If you look at the bottom of the different pieces and components of this, sometimes there are more than one point or termination. Major transformational energy as well. Also connects you to the starseed families, the extraterrestrial groups, the ascended civilizations that work with us to help us through our ascension, through our growth, through our growing pains. Candle quartz definitely helps you with that, and it's higher frequency again, helps you break through any energetic blockages that you have in your body, helps connect you to higher source. Very intense energy as well. I would say be careful with this until you know how it works for you, because this can be very intense. And if you have it next to your bed, for instance, you might not sleep a lot, but you might have some incredible travels in your astral body. So that. We'll talk a little bit about kyanite. There are many forms of kyanite. Kyanite helps you. What is interesting about kyanite is it's got a different hardness lengthwise as opposed to horizontally, and it sets up a grid. There's a grid pattern that is set up when you use these, so it moves energy very quickly. You can seal auras. You can move energy, especially around nerve damage. If somebody has a head injury or has had a stroke or has had even carpal tunnel or a compressed nerve in the neck, this can help to bridge that damage and bring that energy down so that it's connecting again. It almost bypasses that nervous system, building a bridge of light around the damage. And that's one of the things kyanite does. It also builds bridges between people. Again, if you're bringing people together that may come from all sorts of different walks of life, different opinions, and you need them to get along, say for an ad hoc committee kind of thing, this is a stone that's your friend. Helps build a bridge between student and teacher, between healer and client. It's wonderful for building all kinds of etheric bridges and connecting humans and nerves and signals. So kyanite, also a wonderful storm stone. On the order of Moldavite, we have tektite. These are also meteorites. Strong energy helps connect you to extraterrestrials. Major change, major energy with these. Just to mention those. I'll also mention Merlinite. This is Mystic Merlinite. It helps you connect to your shadow side so that you can learn to accept it, love it even, and integrate it. You know, we're all plays of light and shadow. We want to believe we're all lily white. We have darkness in us, and it's been there for millennia. And this is the lifetime where we're being asked to clear it. Merlinite can help you with that. Helps you delve into that shadow side and be unafraid. It's okay to face it, accept it. It's you. If you love yourself unconditionally, accepting your shadow side is part of it. Merlinite helps you to do that, helps you move through it, helps you integrate it. Also, because hence the name Merlinite, helps connect you into the deeper mysteries. When you're ready, especially alchemy, those kinds of things, magic, true magic, alchemy, Merlinite will help you get there. Very intense stone, also a lot of energy. I want to be careful with that. I'm going to mention Shiva Lingam. These are shaped, the true Shiva Lingams are from the Narmada River in India. And they're a kind of quartz, a cryptocrystalline quartz, meaning that there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there. And it comes with these beautiful colors that are natural, and then they shape them into these shapes. Some of them actually naturally form that way. They're all over India in temples. Stuff like that. But this is major storm energy. It stimulates the Kundalini energy that rises from the base of the spine, rises up the chakra column, and comes up to meet in the head to have awakenings, to help with spiritual awakenings. Definitely catalyzes that. And they can be pretty intense. This also carries the energy of the divine feminine and divine masculine meeting in divine union. So it's really good for sexual issues. It's great for divine union if that's what you're practicing in your relationships. The markings represent the feminine, and the shape represents the masculine, and together in divine union, which is what we seek to create on Earth. So that's just a little bit about Shiva Lingam. Also very intense energy. That Kundalini rising, if you're not ready for it, it's very intense. It's an intense spiritual awakening. So just one more. There are so many storm stones. They're all vary in intensity, but one more. This looks like nothing major. It's called Shungite. It's a form of carbon found in Russia. And what this is black tourmaline on steroids. It purges your whole being, all your chakras, all your meridians, everything. Purge. Major purge. I like to use these in healings when someone really is having a crisis. And it's like getting rid of the toxins, flushing it out on whatever level they are, whether they're physical, energetic, emotional, mental, spiritual. It helps you to flush those toxins out. Shungite, a very powerful storm stone. Looks like a little tiny thing, but a little dab will do you. So these are just some examples of storm stones that you can have in your life and start to use to get you moving. There are so many. And just remember, storm is nothing to fear. It's your pathway to transformation. It's your pathway to kicking a habit. It's your pathway to a higher level of living. It's your finding your way through whatever is keeping you blocked. So it's nothing to fear. And when we stop and rise and face our fear and face our storm, it often abates. We can always ask for ease and grace through any transformation, even if it is a storm. So this is Lori from Crystal Earth Magic with your Crystal Wisdom of the Day. And this concludes our 5-part series on the elements and how they are carried within the energies of stones. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that makes it a little easier for you to start working with your stones from what elemental energy they carry. Crystal blessings.